Hello and welcome. Today I'll be having a demo on configuring a hybrid cluster with Azure Managed Instance for Apache Cassandra using our client configurator. This tool is designed to simplify your configuration process for hybrid clusters. The steps are really easy and simple to follow. You probably use this tool if you're looking to migrate to Azure if you already have like an on-prem Cassandra cluster set up. We'll be using this guide all through the demo. And yeah, so let's get started. Going through the prerequisite, the first step is to have a managed instance cluster set up on Azure. I'll go through this quickly. You would notice that we have the L series SKUs um, added, which is really good for read intensive workload. You probably want to check that out. And yeah, we just go through the process really fast. Once the deployment is complete, we would go next to actually setting up a hybrid cluster. And the first step here is to ensure that at least if you're setting up a hybrid cluster, you would require to have an on-prem Cassandra cluster set up. So we'll go ahead and modify the on-prem cluster name to ensure that it matches up with what we have on our managed instance cluster in Cassandra. So the first thing is going through your Cassandra YAML file. We'll go through that and change the name of my cluster name to match up with what I just created, the new managed instance cluster I just created. And yeah, so I'll just go ahead and change that real quick. Just making sure about with the name. So I go there and modify that. Okay, save that. Once I save that, also there's the local table within the Cassandra cluster right there. I have to also modify that one. And yeah, just you have to restart Cassandra so to ensure that the name takes effect. So once I exit here and go back into my Cassandra just to be sure that the update has taken effect. We see now that the new name, the demo hybrid video I created cluster has been updated. So once we have that confirmed, next is actually going through the installations. So first is to download the client configurator. I already have that setup done. So and have your Python environment set up to and running. So I have most of that already. So you can actually just go to the repo and copy that the link and have a git clone of that. But yeah, and there's also a README file that will explain the steps to go through that. So I'll just run, since I already have the setup, I would just run which is like the install of the requirements.txt file within the client folder that I downloaded within. And that first of all, I need to go into my Python environment. Running this file just ensures that I have all the dependencies installed. So once we have that copied, those dependencies are already installed. We know that's done. Next, we'll actually go back to run the configurator file itself. This is where we get to run all of that. You can refer to the notes be underneath the configurator file. It explains what each of the parameters mean and the ones that are required and what you need to add. So yep. So that will explain all the DC names, the SKUs, the seed nodes, the location that's going to be deployed. We have to have all of that there. You can copy that and modify it to add your subscription IDs and all. But before we do that, I'll show you my managed instance cluster on Azure, and you can see that the external seed nodes are empty, and also the gossip certificates, the external gossip certificate, it's also empty because we haven't run the script yet. It hasn't updated yet. Just to show that. So go ahead now and run the script. Copy that in. So once we have that, running the script, this will take a few minutes, not a lot, but it's just going to update, create some of those certificates and the shell file, scripts that needs to be run. Let's just go through that. Wait for that. Take a few minutes. Updates the the cluster in Azure with those external certificates and the seed nodes like we had seen before. The script restarts your on-prem Cassandra cluster. So it's just going to do that. And then within that, so now that we have that managed cluster has been updated with the external certificates, we can also see that. So if you go back and refresh and check your external seed nodes, you see that the seed nodes added have been updated there. Yeah. So if we just take that out of the way, so now we have the extra running the script creates another folder within that your repo folder that you have. So if you go in there, you're gonna see a zipped folder which is install sets that we are going to have to if you go to the next step there, you need to copy that on each of the nodes of your on-prem cluster that you want to add up to your managed instance cluster. So I'm just going to copy that over and extract it, and then there is a script. So once we go there, and just make sure I have the right path there, fix that. Okay, so now we have the script copied over onto each of the nodes in my on-prem cluster that I want. What next step is to ensure that we have the zip folder there. So we have to unzip that, which we have some of the steps on how to do that right there. You have to extract that on each of the nodes like I mentioned earlier. And then just run that. So now we can see the key stores that are within, and also the shell file that we'll need to run. So going into the your Cassandra folder, we get to run you have to make sure the script is executable. So you run the sudo chmod on that just to make sure that you're able to execute that script. I'll copy that over and run that. Okay. And just probably like the last step is running the scripts. So we do that. This just takes a couple of minutes. Restarts the Cassandra cluster. And this is just updating each of those nodes now with the with your Azure seed nodes too, since we've updated the Azure with the seed nodes. And if you do a node tool status on those nodes, you would see the the seed nodes from your Azure cluster that one we just created. Which you can see that 11, 12, and 13, and we can see that there, those nodes 11, 12, and 13, we're able to also see that there. And that's, yeah, that brings us to the end of this demo. So let us know if you have any questions, and thank you.